Hi guys, welcome to day 16. Yes, I recorded both of these videos in one day, yesterday's and today's. But I'm so excited for today. So I'm going to be sharing with you some different physical therapies and exercises that you can do from home, starting with low mobility and working up to advanced. So we're going to go through low mobility / beginner mobility to moderate mobility to advanced mobility. Now, don't get too discouraged about advanced mobility. So the advanced ones just include a lot more movement with low body and upper body, and they're replications with resistance bands that you can actually do at machines in the gym. So if you do have access to the gym, a lot of these can be incorporated with cable machines or different exercise equipment. I do want to let you guys know that I did talk to some physical therapists and some trainers and coaches about some different exercises you can do. So while all of these exercises are being put into a Pinterest board and are from Pinterest, a lot of these I got straight from my trainers and my physical therapists, and a lot of them too I actually started doing when I first started exercising. So let's get started. So a lot of people have a line where they classify the different types of mobility. So for low mobility, I'm going to classify it as people who have never really worked out before or haven't in a really long time, those who have a lot of issues with movements, those who don't have a lot of balance anymore. So, and trust me, I still fall into some of these exercises as well due to my current lower mobility than I am used to. So let's start with some different equipment that you can get in your home from Five Below, actually, and some that you may already have in your home. So I highly recommend this equipment for all of the different stages. That way that you are prepared and that you've got them. So the first one that I recommend is getting a yoga mat or an exercise mat. You can get them at Five Below. You can get them at Walmart as well. Five Below has exercise mats that are really nice and good quality. And that's exactly where I had gotten mine. So I do apologize real quick for the background noise. I am outside because it's amazing out right now. The other things that you would like to get is some different resistance bands and some different strengths. They're $3 to $5 a piece, depending on which Five Below you go to. And they say right on the box what you're looking for. So get 2 to 3 of them. That way, in case some exercises are a little bit easier than others or harder than others. The other thing you're going to need is a booty band. Now, I haven't seen them at Five Below for a while, but you can get them at Walmart, Targets, fitness stores, and also on my favorite place in the world, Amazon. I'm actually waiting for an Amazon delivery as we speak. I'm a little bit obsessed, but I digress. So definitely get a booty band because they're not just for your glutes. You can use them for upper body and mobility, and you can also use them for strength training. The next piece of equipment I highly recommend getting is an exercise ball. So you can get those at Five Below as well. You can do different physical therapies and exercises off of them, and this will also help with body weight exercises along with flexibility. So I'm going to show you today some diagrams of exercises you can do with an exercise ball. And the last piece of equipment you are going to need is a chair. So you can grab any sturdy chair in your house, like a kitchen chair, not like a real comfy chair, or even an office chair, because some of these exercises and the diagrams do show an office chair. So I highly recommend grabbing one as well. All of the exercises and physical therapies I'm going to show you today are in a Pinterest board. The link is in the description. That way you guys can see and use them for yourselves and repin them. So Pinterest is also another good place just to find resources or exercises that you can do from home. But we're going to talk about that at the very end, some places that you can look for some basic exercises. So let's start with low mobility to beginner mobility. So for beginner mobility, I'm going to show you guys some chair exercises and some basic yoga and some diagrams. So for some chair exercises that you can do right up here, these are great for beginners. So they're going to help strengthen your muscles and also create some flexibility. This just gets you moving, which is something that all of us need to do every day for at least 30 minutes, just to get moving. So whether it's going out and walking using water aerobics, or doing these chair exercises and beginner yoga in your home. So the 2 pieces of exercise equipment you're going to need is a chair and a yoga mat. So this first diagram shows a few different stretches or even exercises you can do to start creating mobility and start creating some flexibility. So it shows some backward bends, some forward bends. It also shows some leg lifts And it also shows hugging the knees to your chest. It is okay if you can't do that one and hug it all the way in. I can't either. I squat so much. So don't worry if you can't hug your knee all the way in. So these are going to start stretching your body. So they're going to stretch your spine. They're going to stretch your hamstrings and your quads. They're going to stretch your shoulder blades because you're leaning forward, and your low back. These are phenomenal to do no matter what level of flexibility you have or balance you have, because this is just going to help you stretch the body. I do these stretches without a chair. Sometimes I'll do them on my yoga mat on my back. So it's completely okay. You can pick your level. You can either, or a yoga mat. You can choose your level. Now this next diagram shows exercises that are done on a wobble chair. So I first got introduced to a wobble chair at my chiropractic office. You can buy them through medical stores and through Amazon. These exercises can also be done on a normal chair. So don't panic if you don't have a wobble chair in your house, because they are a little bit expensive. So you've got your side bends, you've got another form of leg lifts. I do like this other one too, that's the first one listed. So you bend your head back and you bend slightly forward. So that's going to help create some flexibility in the neck. You can also do one of my other favorites, which is where you bend your neck to the side, place your finger on the temple, be very gentle about it, and then you can do the other side as well. You want to hold them for about 5 seconds. So 3 to 5 seconds. The only one on here that you won't be able to do without a wobble chair is that last one where it says wobble chair exercises. That's okay, because I'm going to show you some yoga moves that can actually help with those. So I'm going to show you a quick yoga diagram as well that's going to help strengthen the body and create some flexibility. All of these that I'm showing you to are great for beginner mobility. Make sure that you're listening to your body through them. I highly recommend doing 3 to 5 of each one on each side, holding 3 to 5 seconds of all the diagrams that I've showed you so far. So for the beginner yoga, this is where you're going to want to use a yoga mat or an exercise mat. And all of these two that I'm showing you are ones that I do for my warm-ups and in my yoga classes that I take right now. So you've got child's pose, mountain pose, you've got some different flexibility poses as well, and these are all phenomenal. And you can find YouTube videos too that go through these different poses with you. This one is on Pinterest too. So all of these are going to help relax your body, your state of mind, and help create flexibility. Yoga helps you create a mindful mindset and a mindful mind state. And it also helps you build that flexibility and endurance without you even realizing it. This last one that I'm going to show you for beginner mobility are some physical therapies that I did to help strengthen the IT bands. So I've noticed with a lot of fibro patients, we have IT band issues. So these are going to be great for your quads, knees, and IT bands. These can be done with a wall and with an exercise mat. I love the one where it has you place your leg up on the wall and scoot yourself to where it is straight up in the air. While it might be slightly painful at first, don't push it to where you feel a lot of pain and pulling. So gradually move into it being straight up on the wall. So remember, always listen to your body. If you can't get it straight up against the wall, that's okay. And these might be great to do in a physical therapy office or with someone too that can help you to make sure that they're watching your form. Because one thing about these stretches is you need to make sure that your form is spot on in order to get the full benefits, just like with all exercises. So let's talk about some moderate mobility exercises. So for this one up here, you're gonna need a yoga or exercise mat and your booty band. So the booty band is so important because these exercises focus on the glutes and low back. So it shows some banded squats, some banded bridges, clams, and leg lifts. So these are going to help build your quads, hamstrings, and glutes. I still do these for my leg day warm-up. So these are phenomenal. They help warm up those muscles. Without you even realize it, you're going to start creating some and building that muscle as well. Now, the one that I'm not a huge fan of is that lunge. If you have a lot of knee issues, you're going to want to hold on to something. And it's okay too that if you can't do that exercise. So that's another thing that you might want to bring in is that chair, or do it along a wall, or even get like a bar. You can do these at the gym too. That way you've got something near you in case that you don't have that full strength in full flexibility and mobility, you can hang on to something to help guide you down while you're still working those muscles. So this next group of exercises does show one, which is push-ups, which depending on if you can do them can be considered advanced. So I highly recommend looking at some alterations. You can do them on your knees as well. That way you're not using your full body weight. But I do like the rest of them listed. So I love those shoulder reaches and the crossbody reach. I love the squats. I love the curls because this is a full body workout right here, guys. So I recommend doing 10 of each, at least 3 rounds if possible. If not, do a round of each. Remember, listen to your body and do what you can. These are phenomenal for not only stretching the body and creating some balance and working on the core, but also to help just build strength in those areas as well. So I wanted to throw in a yoga sequence for you guys. This one is phenomenal. You will need your yoga mat for it. I absolutely love it. So this is a basic sequence that we do to warm up in yoga. So and some of these are also a different way of doing them as well. You've got downward dog, you've got the 3-legged dog. I definitely recommend throwing some child pose in there between rounds. I recommend doing 2 to 3 rounds of this too. So you've got some low lunges, which is with your leg on the ground. So this will help as well with balance if you can't do lunges just yet. This will help with balance just to kind of help you build that strength. And you want to make it flow. So make sure that you're allowing your body to flow while doing it. If you click on the Pinterest board that this is attached to, you can also find some other ways to do it too. And you can also find some yoga videos online that will go through the sequence as well. Help with building strength, muscle, and mobility. All right, so this last group of exercises is definitely for the advanced, and I was actually able to fit it in one chart. So this group of exercises shows a full body workout. However, I don't recommend doing all of them in one day. I recommend splitting them up how they are split up here on the chart. So these you're going to want to use those multiple resistance bands for. You've got core, back, upper body, low body, full body exercises, and they are great for strengthening muscles, creating flexibility, and helping with your balance as well. They can be done with those multiple resistance bands because while one exercise may seem easy, the other ones might be hard. So that's why I recommended it, because you can switch them out depending on which exercise you are doing. These exercises can also incorporate a exercise ball as well. So if you have trouble with balance, I highly recommend making sure that you have your exercise ball with you. That way you have some extra stability. Wanted to throw in a yoga sequence for you guys as well. So this yoga sequence is awesome. It is definitely a little bit more advanced. I love tree pose though. It's great to help build balance since you're only on one leg. Make sure you do it alternating. So if you go through the sequence on one leg, make sure you go back through it on the other, or it's not benefiting your body as much. Actually, basically not at all. So eagle pose is great too. It's a little bit harder, so make sure you can master tree pose first. That way you can move into the eagle pose. Cat cow, of course, even though it's considered a beginner to moderate, it's great for stretching out the spine and the back, helps with low back pain. So definitely make sure you're paying attention to where you're feeling tension, because these yoga poses can help alleviate it. So now that I've gone through the 3 stages of mobility, I want to remind you to make sure that you guys are doing each side of the body, that you guys are being mindful and listening. But I also want to make sure that you guys know where to find different exercises and different free options to find them in guided videos. So I highly recommend using Pinterest. A lot of them come with guided videos if you click on them and go to the website. YouTube is also another great one. I learned a lot off YouTube. I'm still learning off of YouTube, so I highly recommend it. There's different apps as well that you can also get, and I'm going to tell you about my favorite one. So my favorite app is called Fitbod. You can go in and get pre-designed workouts, especially if you're advanced. This is a great tool to have. But even if you're not advanced, it's a good one to have. You can create your own workouts, have the app create them for you. You can set your weights, set your reps, and it's easy to track because it saves them all for you. So I highly recommend checking out Fitbod because it also includes videos as well with each exercise. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that you're getting a little bit of cardio. So cardio can be walking around the block with your dog. It can be going on a nature walk or a nature hike. It can be riding a bike. It could be using that elliptical or treadmill. I love Pelotons. I just started using them at work and they're great. I absolutely love cardio equipment, but it not only is low impact cardio versus high impact, like walking versus running, but it also just is going to help you build up that endurance. You need endurance to do a lot of these exercises and to move through the different stages of mobility. So make sure you're at least getting a little bit of cardio in. Like I said, even if it's just walking around the block or walking up the street and back, find where to start. It's a huge help, guys. And like I said earlier, it's okay too if some of these things are harder that you can't do yet. That's why I always recommend starting with a physical therapist or a trainer. Make those people aware of what you're going through. Ask your doctor if you can get a physical therapy referral, because physical therapy is what really got me moving. It wasn't really my trainer. My trainer helped, but my physical therapist was a big help. They talked to each other. I would get paperwork from my physical therapist to bring to my trainer. That way he could see what I was working on and find ways to help with exercises outside of the physical therapy to get through it. So make sure you're consulting professionals, especially if you're in the advanced. Work with a professional. They're going to be able to help guide you, help spot you, and help make sure that your form's good, because without your form, you're not getting the full effects of the workouts. All right, guys, make sure you check out that Pinterest board. That way you can see all these exercises and go through them and save them for yourself. I put the link in the description. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about one of the biggest things that we all seem to deal with, which is brain fog. So how to combat it and how to work through it and how to help people understand it too. Because brain fog affects so much neurologically and it affects our everyday lives. So I'm so excited that you guys were here today and that you were able to watch these videos that I posted. Thank you again for all the support, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. I know I am.